Hi, Waldo. Hello, sweetie. How are you, sweetie? Good job. Good job. He loves me. I don't know.
He does love you. What is your earliest memory?
This is really unusually tough. They're more like snapshots. I can't tell you a story. I remember when I was really young, my dad took me to the walkway that goes along the Rhine in Düsseldorf, my mom and dad. They wanted to show me some maneuvers that the troops were doing. And this must have been, I don't know, I don't know what year, but all I remember is these guys sitting with sandbags around right under the trees, and there was a lot of smoke and stuff on the lower part of the, the overflow basin part, it's all grass.
Right, right.
And it's used for grazing sheep, which is a cheap way to keep it cut. But these troops were in there, and there were troops from the other side coming across the river. And this guy next to me, these two guys, had a machine gun, and they were shooting this machine gun. And that's what I remember, is the machine gun, just loud as heck. The sensation was, it really made an impact on me. And the other things that I kind of remember when I was younger are little mischievous things. I had a good friend, Ralph Guthoff, who was taller than me, smarter than me, and a lot more sensible. And
don't we all have a friend like that?
Yeah, thank goodness. I mean, but I was always trying to super achieve, We lived in an apartment house that had like 5 or 6 stories, and they were all in a row, connected, as they usually are. And we lived on the 4th or 5th floor, and we went up to the attic. Ralph and I went up to the attic, and there were these half-round little dormer window things, and you could open the latch and drop it down. And there were boxes and stuff up there, so we piled them up. I say, Ralph, let's go up. We could see much better. Somehow I got to go first. And the roof was, fairly steep, as they are in Europe, because of the snow and everything. And so I went on the roof and got on my butt. And I got to where the rain collects and they run it down. And I got my feet on there, and I'm getting up and standing up. I see my mother in the backyard of this apartment.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Mommy! Hello, Mommy! And she went bonkers. I mean, I know, come on, you have to come down, I certainly hightailed it back in, but she was really ticked off at me.
How old were you, do you think?
Let's see, the war ended in 45. I was 9. Came here in 47 when I was 11. I got to walk back. And then the last year, the middle of 43 on, I was in Eichendorf. So I must have been 7? Yeah. So 7 or 8-ish, at the most 8. And Ralph was my age, but bigger, and a lot more cautious. He never went out on the roof. But he was smarter in many ways, in most ways. One time we decided to get pussy willows for Easter presents for our parents. I forgot to bring a knife. So Ralph was cutting away. I said, hey, can I borrow your knife? And he was really reluctant. He was like, razzing me about not bringing a knife. Well, he finally succumbed, but then he was in a hurry to go. So I ended up with a small bunch. He had this gorgeous big bunch. He got all the best ones. So that's kind of the way things went with
Got it, yeah.
with him and me. So
what makes you say he's smarter? Like, what was he like?
I can't say. I guess I'm referencing school, and he was definitely smarter. We both got into the path to go to college, but he always got great grades, and I got okay grades, and some not so okay. I don't know, I wasn't always there 100% in the moment. Physically present, but a lot of times I was daydreaming. My mother used to say, der Reinhard ist ein Träumer. That means, Reinhard is a dreamer. And it's true, always been true. I was in a lot of events, a lot of things, and I wasn't really there mentally, wasn't engaged. What was I engaged with? Who knows anymore, you know? I really don't know. One other thing, while we're talking about the backyard, the backyard had the front part, which is where all the garages were, and there was actually a tunnel. It was below street grade, so there was a tunnel that went from the street with big double doors, and you had to open the double doors and then drive down this long tunnel, which went right through the building to this gravel-filled parking lot thing. It's not really gravel, it's like ash and it's packed down. Cinder block, cinders. Beyond that was what we call the garden. And so then each of us got a little plot. And I remember we had chickens. My father got a chicken coop and chickens because we didn't have enough of anything really, especially once the war started. So he had these chickens and we had eggs. And we also grew a bunch of, I forget, but they're vegetables. And he collected the rainwater and put in the manure from the sheep who grazed on the Rhine River, put them in and made this wonderful soup of water, and let it sit there for a while. And of course, I decided one day I was going to help him and water the plants. What I didn't know was that you don't take that concentrated juice, you dilute it. I didn't do that. I killed all the plants.
Oh no.
I was not a hero. The other thing I find interesting is, and it's coming back now, we had this, again in the backyard, there was this big steel pipe, and it was in the wall, and it was up high. The purpose of that was so you could clean your carpets. You hang your carpets over this thing, and the ladies would come with these woven pretzel-shaped things at the end of like a beater. Well, what they do is they beat the living daylights out of this nice oriental carpet mostly, and all the dirt and everything would fall down. And of course, rambunctious, I did a crazy thing. I started running and I said to Ralph, I said, I bet you I can jump up and grab that. I could. Not for long. I grabbed it, but it was too big a diameter, and I just swung forward with the momentum. And you could picture the hands going this way as the body goes that way.
Yeah.
Boom! It ended right on my back and my head. Oh my gosh, it was awful. Wonderful things like that. These are my early memories, you know?
Well, I mean, all kids do stupid things and get injured.
Apparently. I hope so. I mean, I didn't want to be the exception. I'm pretty sure I wasn't. But I only had one reference point, that's Ralph. I don't ever remember Ralph doing anything like that.
Well, you know, you were Luke and he was me, you know?
Could be.
Yeah,
that's, I don't know Luke, but it sounds like it might be an analogy. I've never had an easy time making friends. And the truth is, I don't know. I'm just not, I don't know how to be relaxed enough to be a friend and loosen up and all that sort of stuff. I think. Coming home from school, there's a big crater from a bombing. And it had rained really heavily. And there was this nice pool of water in there. It was a hot day. I said, hey, I'm going in there. So I take my shoes off and I jump in, and there was something in there, probably a piece of shrapnel or something. And I stepped on it and it cut my instep.
Oh,
it cut right like that. But it didn't cut the tendons or anything like that. I was lucky. But it bled like a stuck pig, and I walked all the way home barefoot, leaving footprints wherever I went. And it's amazing the things that you remember. The other thing I remember is Fußball, which is really soccer. Playing soccer against the wall outside. I'm on the sidewalk of the apartment, and I'm kicking the ball up against the wall, catching it as it comes back. It got away from me. I spun around and ran after it, and a bicyclist was coming very fast. And he clobbered me and sent me flying, and he went flying, and he yelled at me, he was swearing at me. Meanwhile, I'm holding the back of my head, which had hit the curb, and opened up a big flap.
Oh, God.
And it's I'm holding like this, and I go upstairs holding like that, and by the time I got upstairs, the blood had run from the back to the front of my face, and on either side, and it was all over my face and dripping down. And I'm saying, Mommy, Mommy, it's nicht so schlimm. That means it's not so, Mommy, it's not too bad. I thought she was going to kill me. She's going to finish the job. I'm telling you, she was so mad. So,
God, I can't believe you're alive.
there are crazy things that were done. My father had a drawing board in the dining room, and he was working a lot on the drawing board, designing stuff, engineering. And my mother was very outgoing. She had a lot of people she dealt with and so on and so forth. And I guess I pretty much kept to myself. I don't know that I had that much, I don't remember doing much with my parents. Why? Because I don't think we had the opportunity. Things were so tough that with the war, and you couldn't get food, you couldn't travel, you couldn't buy anything that had metal. I remember this one terrible summer, every night at least once we had an air raid. And my father had reinforced the ceiling of the cellar. So the ceiling was quite low. Tall adults had to bend over to walk around in there. And there were cots along the side, the wall, and of course the columns. And I remember spending many a night being woken up, you know, and taken downstairs and hearing the bombs. And oh no, it was the British, yes, but also Americans. I don't remember ever going on a vacation while I was growing up. And I don't really remember doing anything about as a family, games, or I think we were very, I would say, stressed family. My part of town was called Oberkassel, which is on the small residential part across the river from the commercial industrial part of town, the big part of town. We were not the primary target, but the center of Düsseldorf was really hit badly.